Darkness. Plunged into darkness are thousands of remote villages in India. Despite India ranking number 3 in electricity production in the world, 400 million people are off the electricity grid and struggle with the challenges of surviving without power. But for more than 1,000 such villages in Uttar Pradesh, living without light is a thing of the past. Owing to the efforts of Nikhil Jaisinghani, Brian Shad and Sandeep Pandey, the minds behind Mera Gao Power. Nikhil and Brian, perceiving the need for electricity in UP villages, resolved to find a solution as they set up Mera Gao Power. The initiative worked towards providing electric lighting through a solar DC microgrid of 24 volts, providing electricity to households where each house would get 2 LED bulbs and a mobile charging point. Mera Gao Power built its first commercial microgrid, which was installed in Karanpur in Sitapur district. It was commissioned in December 2011, and their first customer, Om Prakash, still remains one of their biggest advocates in the area.
When we started MGP, we had one clear mission, which was to eliminate kerosene usage from rural India. So our typical customer is a rural farmer living generally in an off-grid hamlet who earns less than $1 a day. There'll be a family of 5 or 6 people, generally, who have kerosene lights for 3 hours a night. And that's what we've come in to replace.
While Mera Gao Power entered the market with great optimism, they were plagued with a multitude of challenges from local bodies and suppliers. Suppliers sold Mera Gao Power fake batteries, the tax office held the company's goods at ransom, local judges threatened to shut down the company if bribes were not paid, and politicians encouraged customers not to pay for the service. Large, high-profile NGOs complained that Mera Gao Power should not be permitted to operate as a not-for-profit. The federal government threatened to regulate the company, and Nepal let out water from its dams, flooding parts of northern Uttar Pradesh, including Sitapur district, where Mera Gao Power had installed all its microgrids. One constant, however, was a positive relationship with their customers. By the end of 2012, Mera Gao Power had over 100 microgrids and 3,000 customers, bringing power to 15,000 households by 2013. Mera Gao Power is now well on the way to formalize its processes and is positioned for growth. The technology has been proven, the market is enormous, and the company is focused on a fuller set of activities to ensure profitable operations at a larger scale.
खावा पिया जाते हैं बच्चे फिर
चोरन वोरन सने दिन डर नहीं है हाँ लाइट सने चोरन डर नहीं है
बाहर बच्चे खेल सकते हैं ये सब बताते हैं
बच्चे खेला करते हैं
सांप बिच्छू का डर था खतरा वो खत्म हो गया
हाँ विधिवत बताओ
वो भी देख सकते हैं और जैसे बच्चे खेलते हैं जैसे दिन जैसे है तैसे
रात में उजेला हो तो दिन
जैसे खेलते हैं.
Nikhil Jaisinghani, Brian Shad and Sandeep Pandey intervened to make a difference with their empathy, grit and courage to bring light to the lives of many in a tough domain. We forget how painfully dim the world was before electricity. A candle, a good candle, provides barely 1/100th of the illumination of a single 100-watt light bulb.
I have found the Mera Gao Power story fascinating. Not simply because it's a story of entrepreneurship, which of course it is. Entrepreneurship requires 2 competencies. One has to do with calculated risk taking, one has to do with initiatives. And the lead characters of the Mera Gao Power story have done exceptionally well on those counts. Mera Gao Power is a story of how it's not enough for an idea whose time has come. In fact, it's necessary but not sufficient. When these people set out to do this, they failed. Number one, they thought they will empower the villagers to demonstrate entrepreneurship. Nepotism got in the way and hijacked the profitability agenda. When they tried to look for somebody who knows the local environment very well, an NGO, well, that didn't work out. The NGO had ulterior intentions of its own and, in short, ended up sabotaging what these people were trying to do. But what came clearly in the story is that if you can focus on the need of what the people are feeling, on what their requirements are, and just zero in on that and try and deliver value around that, it is possible to become successful. The core lesson from Mera Gao Power is you have to have something beyond the legitimacy and validity of the idea itself. And that is, you integrate as closely as possible with the need of the customer and the client and deliver value in excess of cost.